5:30. We'll open the public hearing. This will be the first public hearing on our millage rate. There's been a lot of discussion in the past regarding the millage rate. I can tell you my thoughts on it. My thoughts on it is that we hold the line on where our millage rate is right now. We accept the increase that's coming in, and we can apply that. It's the way I look at it. So in a time where it's hard as a dickens to find employees, my focus then becomes to retention of the employees that we have, with the possibility of bringing more, enticing more people to come to work for us. So when I looked at this numbers, and I think you guys have looked at them as well, but when I looked at these numbers, the difference in the rollback, $156,000, we crunching some numbers, we could bring 42 employees in the county up to what I call a livable wage. 42 employees in the county. And when I looked at the number of full-time employees that we have right now, we've got 194 full-time employees. So, I mean, that's a pretty good percentage of employees that we could bring up to a better livable wage and keep them here. As we know, they can, I mean, as bad as it is to say, you can actually go to a fast food restaurant and make more money than some of these employees make here now. Mm-hmm. So that was my thoughts on this, and I would love to hear from you guys before we turn it over to the public, if that's a possibility. Sure. So, Mr. Patterson, you want to go first?
Well, you know, it's reality that Fannin County's growing by leaps and bounds. We've got the paper that's told us that, you know, and on the weekends, with our tourism, we're double. But even with that, Fannin County is growing, and we have to keep looking at our infrastructure. We've got to keep looking at our police, our EMTs, all that stuff. If we don't, we'll get in trouble. Okay? And Fannin County is good to say that we're the lowest millage rate in the state, but at some point in time, we you know, looking at the people is making sure that we can take care of the people. And that's what I look at. So I think it's time, and I have to agree with our chairman here on that issue as far as keeping, you know, that money so we can use it to build up the county.
Well, you know how I feel. That just gives my heart joy, because I think we discussed in here about the benefit package for our employees, and we wanted, and I've always been for employees. I fought for that, because I know what it's like to keep a good squad together, right, a good team, and to keep their confidence up, and they're going to be more productive, right, if they see that you're taking care of them, and it really does. You just don't know how much joy that gives me to hear that, because they know now, from the insurance, from everything that we've been trying to do since we've been here, now we're bringing up the pay for 42 people. That is awesome, and that's a good thing that we should be doing, because not only do we take care of our citizens, we have to take care of our employees. Right. And therefore, like I said, I'm just, you know, we're blessed. You know, that's all I can say.
Well, there's a lot of pressure on those guys, and it just mounts with more people.
Exactly.
Comes more things you've got to do,
well,
to help our citizens.
Yeah, you know, I was looking at the checks I had to sign the other day that went somewhere that, sure, you know, I'd like to have kept those. Those were big old checks. But I mean, that just goes to show you how many people is coming through here. And as a police officer, with traffic and everything, I know what you're saying, the traffic's here. So, I mean, you know, we need to take care of our people. And I'll be honest with you, from what I've seen from from Zach and his crew, from Robert and their crew, the sheriff's department. We're providing a good service. They're doing a better, I mean, I'm not saying that they did a bad job, but I think that they see that they have the backing of a board that
Support.
right, and we're getting a lot of good work, and I just think that's awesome. Hats off.
We need that productivity, and to get that productivity, we need to give them,
Exactly.
give them something to let them know we care.
Exactly.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll open it up to the public. Anybody want to comment on it? If you do, raise your hand, come up to the microphone, and we'll go from there.
I think that was well said by everybody.
Yes, well, thank you.
Very well thought out.
Well, things come easy when you try to do good, you know, so that's what we're trying to do.
Crickets. I hear them. Anybody?
That was short-lived.
I think your reasoning's great. Agree with all your comments.
Well, thank you.
It's nice to know that people still care about taking care of their employees.
Amen, sister, I agree on that.
Well, it's the employees that take care of us.
That's right.
And, you know, that's coming out of the, we'll call it the corporate world, or the private sector, however you want to call it. I mean, I couldn't have done it without the people that I worked with. And same way here, I can't do this job without the people that we work with. It's not a 1, 2, or 3 man show. It's a
Team.
It's definitely a team, and you know, we part-time, full-time, we've got about 280 employees, and you know, each one of them are as valuable as the next. You know, I don't think there's one job that outshines the other, because from the guy weed eating to the person changing the light bulbs in here, I mean, that's there's no job, in my opinion, that's more important than the other. We work together as a team, like Commissioner Searcy said, and that's, you know, we've said it again, we may agree to disagree sometimes, but at the same time, I think we all have the best interest of this county in our mind, or really on our heart. I really believe that.
And from somebody that, I am not a big tax guy. I hate taxes. I mean, but I understand that you gotta have taxes to live and run and operate. I understand that. That don't make me like it anymore, but I know that. But the thing about it is that we owe, as a citizen of Fannin County, I've sat back in the back here and I've watched these meetings, and then sitting up here and learning what I've learned and what time I've had to learn it. You know, we're here our responsibility is to take care of our home, and to be honest about it, be able to sleep at night. And that's what I really feel these commissioners are doing. And like the chairman said, God bless you. And what the chairman said, we're probably going to disagree on some things, but I still like him. You know, I mean, I'm always right, he might be wrong. Just a little joker, but you know, we try to get along. So that's what we're going to do. But we're going to work with the people of this county, just like the equipment that they use when they come pulling up. I want Fannin County to be proud of what they see when it says Fannin County government on the side. So, you know, that's how I feel about it.
You don't just keep it low to keep it low. You don't just keep it low to be the lowest in the state. You have to have a reason for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to raise it. It's got to be for a good reason too.
Exactly.
I think all that.
Oh, yes, no waste. Trim the fat, trim the fat.
Been trying.
I have to. Mine was covered, not
I know. Anyone else? All right, nothing else, we'll close this public hearing, and we'll wait till later. But we'll have about 19 minutes, 18 minutes and 52 seconds before the next meeting, so You know, get up and stretch your legs. Commissioner Patterson, would you lead some?
Invocation. Big gracious Heavenly Father, it is truly a privilege to open this meeting praying for your blessing and thanking you for all the things you have already done for us and you do for us each and every day. Lord, I thank you for each and every citizen that's here that's interested in Fannin County, that's interested enough to be here. Lord, be with the ones that couldn't be here for whatever reason, Lord, and help us as commissioners to have the wisdom to do your will, Lord, because we know your will is what's best. Thank you again. Forgive us of our sins, we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Join me in pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, number 2 under unfinished business. We approved the minutes of the July 27th, 2021 regular scheduled board meeting. Commissioner Searcy, any errors or omissions in the minutes?
I find me.
Commissioner Patterson?
I have no objections.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of the July 27th, 2021 regular scheduled board meeting. I'll make that motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Item number 3 is the award of a bid on a Type 1 ambulance remount. This was tabled from the July 27th Commissioners meeting. But in that meeting, we were also putting out an RFP, I believe, to get the difference in the price on the new ambulance. And I don't think those bids have come in yet either to.
We're still developing the request for proposals.
Okay.
Probably go out in the next week or so.
I feel like we only had one bid from the remount, and I'd just like to know the difference between the remount price as opposed to a new price. So,
And you feel like you're gonna get more bids for
Absolutely, we should
Right.
get quite a few more bids.
a new one?
We're not holding you up, are we, Robert?
Now, we can't get chassis right now for it anyway, so it's gonna be a long
Yeah,
wait
right.
on it, whether we wait another
Gotcha.
month or so.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we table this for the next board meeting. We'll revisit it then. I'll make that motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Under new business, number 4 is a variance request from Jared and Nancy Yagman to place a garage 2 feet from the property line. I know after talking to Mr. Nicholson and Miss Woody, I think Miss Woody has reached out to this gentleman and he would like to table this until he can come up and actually meet with us one-on-one to explain his situation. So he asked that we actually table this. So, that being said, we'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to table this variance request until we actually hear from Mr. or Ms. Yagman, to where they can go explain to us why they need 2 feet from the property line. I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? Number 5, the Executive Director of the County Development Authority, Christy Gribble, on the discussion, on adopting resolution on the joint comprehensive plan with broadband amendments.
Okay.
Okay.
So this item, we had a public hearing on several meetings ago, and I had a visitor with me, Gretchen, from Northwest Georgia Regional Commission. And after that meeting, the Board of Commissioners voted to proceed with the amendments to the comprehensive plan. So those amendments then go to Department of Community Affairs. They review them, they approve them, and then now we have to adopt the amended comprehensive plan. So that's why this item is on the agenda. So it would be, you have a copy of the resolution, and this is documentation that just has to be done. So the resolution, basically, the title is, it's a resolution to adopt the amendment to the Fannin County and cities of Blue Ridge, McCaysville, and Morganton Joint Comprehensive Plan.
Does anybody need us to read this? Would you like to? You ready? Okay.
Looks sweet.
Really think about it, sir.
Like you told the speaker next time, you just stand there.
Okay.
No. All right, so we'll ask for a motion that we adopt the resolution for the amendment to the Fannin County and cities of Blue Ridge and McCaysville and Morganton Joint Comprehensive Plan from 2018 to 2028. I'll ask for that motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll ask for a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Great. So to recap that, that's one of the things that the state of Georgia recommended that communities do as a step to apply to be broadband ready. So tomorrow I can apply for Fannin County to be broadband ready, and being broadband ready can help support us in grant applications for money that is coming from the state to extend broadband in the community. So awesome, we've made it. So that's that item. Want me to move on to 6?
Yeah. Just spoke to.
So item number 6 is a discussion on a resolution to support another broadband grant. So what I'd like to start with is to recap what I spoke with you about at the last meeting. So I asked for your support for the Development Authority to apply for a grant with Blue Ridge Mountain EMC. So this map right here shows the grant area with Blue Ridge Mountain EMC. So these grants have certain requirements that areas either have no internet service or, in simple terms, have very poor internet service. So that's where we can get grant money to extend service. And when these areas are talked about or chosen, just to make it clear, it's not Fannin County picking and choosing. It's Fannin County partnering with a service provider who's taken a lot of time to look at the cost-benefit analysis of serving certain areas. So end goal, however many years it might take, would be for everybody that doesn't have internet or good internet to get internet, but it's going to take some time. There is a lot of money coming from the federal and state governments for internet expansion, and I do think there's more to come. So recapping, this map shows the grant that the Development Authority is applying for with Blue Ridge Mountain EMC. So it's south of Old 76 to the east side of the county. So there's like my mountain over here.
Is the brown Blue Ridge Mountain Electric?
So brown or red and blue here is areas that are eligible for grant money and areas that Blue Ridge Mountain would extend service to if we get this grant money. So this one's already in process, okay? So then I want to flip to another map, just to put this all in perspective. On August 1st, the state of Georgia, and let me pause for a moment. Frankie Rigdon is in the audience, and if you allow, if he wants to add anything, I would encourage him, because I'm going to talk about a grant opportunity with ETC, and Frankie's VP of Operations with ETC. So,
Great.
just in case you want.
ETC?
So, the state of Georgia on August 1st opened up an opportunity for communities to apply for money through the state fiscal recovery fund. And there are different buckets that the state has identified that we can apply for money for, and one of them is broadband. So ETC is interested in partnering with the Development Authority to apply for some money to serve other parts of the county. Okay, so this is great. First, I want to show you this map that the state of Georgia has put out. So, oh gosh, I'm reading this correctly. Unserved areas are these darker areas here, so the darker green. And as you can see, the Atlanta area is pretty well served, right? That's the lighter green area. There's some unserved areas in North Georgia, a lot of unserved areas in South Georgia. Okay, so that makes this Georgia grant pretty competitive, but as I mentioned to my board, we have a lot more population than South Georgia, so that helps us. So, ETC has done this really great map for us. And I know it's kind of hard to see. If you happen to want me to pull it off, I can.
No,
Put it
no,
up there. But this is all of Fannin County right here. So, in a nutshell, the Blue Ridge Mountain EMC grant is going to serve this neck of the woods. Okay. Now, ETC, we don't have specific locations yet. There's still some technicalities that Georgia is working through that we need to answer before we can say this is where this grant is going to go. But the Development Authority yesterday voted to proceed with the grant with ETC. So it's another great step in the right direction. But ETC is looking at these other areas within the community that would qualify for grant funding. So all the blue is areas that would qualify for grant funding. So again, Blue Ridge Mountain is gonna, if we get the grant money, gonna do service over here. Now Blue Ridge Mountain serves this neck of the woods with power. They may be interested in going after grant money to do something here later, but ETC also has the opportunity
To do that same area.
to do that same area.
As well.
Yeah. So what I don't have for you tonight is the dollar amount that ETC is gonna is asking us to apply for, or the exact locations. And the way I said this to the board, it doesn't impact, those details don't impact the work that we do. We are the person applying, or the entity applying for the grant, supporting this. The few details doesn't impact the work that we put into it, and the fact that we're supporting the community. So I'm gonna pause for a minute and see if you might wanna add anything, or if you guys have questions.
Sure. Come on, Rick.
So in the grant areas that are available, I think the map that Christie showed.
With the
Yeah.
numbers.
So these numbers represent how many locations within, these are census blocks. So there's 15 locations in this census block that are eligible for grant money. There's 4 locations in that census block. and from over here, there's some 50, 63. And so the main competitiveness on the grant is how many locations you can serve for the least amount of money. So each entity that may be applying for grant money, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to find out how many locations they can serve for the least money. And so for us, that means we go to the end of the line where we've got fiber right now, and we see where we can extend into these areas to reach the highest number of people in order to qualify for the grant. Because, as you said, we're also competing with those South Georgia counties as well.
Yeah.
Frankie, I think I see one of them's 172 down there on Morganton or up down south. Is that 172? One on one?
I don't think so.
Maybe I'm not looking at that.
So there's a 110 down there, but that's in Gilmer County.
Okay.
Yeah.
57 down there. So some of them are a lot rich than others.
So my question is this, you're not gonna stop, I wouldn't feel like you're not just gonna stop to get more customers on your billing, but you are gonna proceed in the future as far as trying to make sure we blanket everybody, correct?
Yeah, that's absolutely the goal. We would like to get all of these folks.
I would too, I'd like
Yeah.
to see you do that.
And so, this grant, I think there's $300 million available across the state for this grant. So we're going to try to get as much of that $300 million as we can. With the infrastructure plan that I believe passed the Senate either today or yesterday, it's not going to be in the House. When that infrastructure plan comes out, there's going to be about $60 billion that will be pushed down from the federal government down to the states. I don't know how much Georgia will get, but they'll get a large portion of that.
What will you be providing these homes if when they get the opportunity to sign up? What are you offering them?
So this is fiber to the home. So it's a fiber that goes straight to the home, and many times it goes into the house. We actually take fiber into the house. On internet, the maximum speed that we sell right now is 1 gig by 1 gig. That's 1,000 meg by 1,000 meg. We also sell cable TV and, of course, telephone service. And so that's what we'll offer over that. The technology is there to do 10 gig by 10 gig. I don't know that anybody needs 1 gig by 1 gig, but people buy it.
Yeah. Well, so what makes it worth your while, I guess, to go out this way? How many houses do you need for it to be profitable for you?
We actually have a system where we put together, trying to figure that very thing out, is whatever it costs us to do this. So if we run aerial cable, that's the least cost to us. If we have to start burying, the cost goes way up then. We figure out what that cost is, and then we go to people in the community and we see how much interest we've got. We ask those people to sign up for service. We give 36 months worth of credit. If you say you're going to spend $100 a month, we give $3,600 of that against the cost of the bill. Now, that's in our everyday business. In this grant right here, the customer isn't going to have to do anything. If we get the grant, we bring the service out there, it's up to them to sign up then, they don't have to sign up. But, of course, why wouldn't you?
I would.
How many households do you plan, and you know, like Willard's Mountain had X amount on this side?
Right.
How many do we have? Do you have a number in mind right now?
We don't, and that's where I told Christy, I hate not having a ducks in a row. This thing just opened up August 1st and it closes August 31st. We've never seen a grant window that small, so we're kind of scrambling to figure out cost versus how many homes we can look at. So we're looking at, we've got fiber optic cable that ends at Mount Moriah Church, so we're looking at extending that area. We've got a fiber optic cable that ends out here at the Hardscrabble Road, where Hardscrabble comes out at the Masonic Lodge there.
Sweet Gum?
Yeah.
So you're up to Sweet Gum?
Yes, and actually we turn left and we go to the North Carolina line.
Why don't you turn right, come down 60?
So I was having a conversation with Christy today about what areas we were looking at.
Then you can take a left on Noble.
There's some density out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there.
There's a lack of density from the beginning of the Knollwood out there to where a lot of homes are. I don't know what that distance is. You might know people out there.
Well,
Here to there. It's all
Is
That's right. As the crow flies, it ain't falling.
But yeah, we're looking at it, we are heavily, entrenched on Hartsville Road, so a lot of things with Hartsville.
And you're not gonna stop. You're gonna continue to try to build that thing out.
We will build that thing out until there's nobody else out there to
Well,
serve.
that's my kind of talk. I like it. Okay. Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
So, I'm gonna flip these. Yeah, I would like to keep the maps, but I'll bring them over at any point, or you can visit my office if you want to look at anything in more depth. So,
We got a deadline at the end of the month.
yeah, so the Blue Ridge Mountain grant,
Uh-huh.
we're just about ready to submit that, so I'll probably be able to submit that this week.
That's
And then
good.
this one will be the end of the month. And so we should find out about the Blue Ridge Mountain grant in November, and we anticipate October-ish with the Georgia ETC grant. So this is great. We can know by the end of the year if some of these areas may be able to
Well,
get
actually, we'll know something about ETC quicker than.
quicker,
than-
yeah.
than-
And they're different granting
Mhm.
agencies. Let me glance at my notes and make sure I didn't forget anything. So the Development Authority voted, my board voted yesterday to proceed with the grant. And what I'm asking for tonight is another resolution in support of us applying for this grant. Just something else to make it competitive and show that the county's supporting.
And that's what this resolution is.
Yeah, and, I don't have it in front of me if you wanna read the title out.
I'll read it. This is, it's a resolution, support Fannin County Development Authority's application to the Georgia Fiscal Recovery Fund broadband infrastructure. Whereas Fannin County, a political subdivision of the state of Georgia, acting by and through its duly elected Board of Commissioners, supports the Fannin County Development Authority, an entity of Fannin County government, to apply for the Georgia Fiscal Recovery Fund broadband infrastructure grant. This resolution shall be effective as a date of adoption and shall remain in effect until rescinded by resolution duly adopted by Fannin County, a political subdivision of the state of Georgia. Glad I got all them words out.
Me too.
Lord have mercy. All right, do you have any discussion on this? Before we move?
I have none.
Okay.
I can't wait. I have none. I hope everything works out great.
I will ask for a motion that we adopt this resolution.
I'll make a motion.
I'll make that second. All in favor?
Uh,
All right.
And,
No.
as it relates to these grants, what I'd like to do is explain, matching funds and maybe open up a discussion. And then, Lynn and Sherry, if you have any, knowledge or guidance, perhaps you could chime in. So, for both of these grants, neither the service provider or the county is required to put matching funds in. So they're not requiring either to put money into it. However, it does help show that the county or the service provider has skin in the game when they put some funding in. So it can help with competitiveness, okay? So Blue Ridge Mountain EMC, for that first grant that we've already proceeded with, has said that they are gonna put 10% of the total grant amount into the grant. So for them, they are looking at approximately 1.4 million. And then ETC, while we don't have the final number, is looking at putting matching funds in as well. So to help the competitiveness of the grant.
10%,
We don't have the exact number yet, but
somewhere in that.
somewhere.
In that. Okay.
Okay, so I have talked to some of our working with Blue Ridge Mountain EMC on this same federal grant. I haven't got exact information, but I did want to share what I do have. I think some of the counties, so think north of us, are putting maybe less than what I'm about to talk about, and then some are putting more than. My thought process in all of this is, can the county put something in? So I landed at, what if we did 1% of what the service provider puts in? So again, I just want to open this up for discussion. 1% of the Blue Ridge Mountain EMC grant would be roughly $14,000. Okay, so we don't have the total amount for ETC, but I don't, and based on conversations with ETC and Frankie, don't expect it to be that high. So the idea is something for us to think about as a county. If there are more grants down the line, I think that, and this is me speaking without knowing numbers, this 14 million is probably going to be one of the highest. Would you say that's pretty accurate, Frankie? One of the highest amounts that we'll probably go after with grant funding. So for future grants, we're probably not looking at, if we decide to put more than $14,000 in. So my ask would be for the Blue Ridge Mountain grant and the ETC grant for the county to match at 1% of what the service provider puts in at a maximum of 20,000. So that caps it, or we can max it at 15,000 or whatever. So that we're not, if for some reason somebody asks us to apply for a grant at, 50 million, we're not saying we're gonna do 1% of 5 million or whatever.
But that's not saying that we're gonna get it, eh?
That's not saying we're gonna get it, so that's not saying we're
And
gonna.
then we
have to
lose
spend
our
it.
money, right?
No.
We get our money back?
So, yeah,
You don't have to put money in.
Right.
So-
It's just if we do get it.
right. It's not a gamble, is it?
But my big question that I want everybody to be aware of and to consider is, so timing does matter. So we would, if we decide we need to vote tonight, because these grants have quick turnaround, but we have the American Rescue Plan money. And I've tried to get clear answers, but we all know in government we can't always get the exact answers that we want. But especially with American Rescue Plan money. I've heard multiple things. You can use that federal money for federal grants. I know that one of our surrounding counties plans to, so that's a little bit of resolution for us, is they're planning to put local money towards matching a local or a federal grant. But in the instance, I think it goes back to reporting. I don't know if y'all heard anything. It's how you report.
Well, how much is in this account?
The American Rescue?
We have over, about 5, we just now have about 2 million, a little over 2 million dollars now. We'll be getting a little bit more. The other half will come
So
later
this
in
money,
the year.
we have this money there for projects like
We
this?
do.
For very limited projects.
Very-
Broadband, water, and sewer.
We don't have sewer in the county.
True, but we have water, we're getting ready to do this.
Right.
So we have the means to do that without, so that's good.
Yeah.
The funds
I
are
feel a
there.
lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I feel like a rat that got the biggest cheetah on the back. Okay. That makes me feel a lot better.
You're just gonna have to find a way to use that in a headline.
No, don't use that, come on. My wife won't let me come back. That's good.
Well, and then my thoughts are with that money, this small amount of matching funds, it's not gonna get anywhere close to 5 million, but, whatever the county decides to do with it, there's still gonna be some, if we decide in the future to help hit some of those areas that may not.
That we
may
wanna
be-
cut.
Right, I mean, I think that's something for us to think about.
All right, that's good.
So I don't know, does that all sound?
It does, and the thing of it is, if we can help ETC spend their money and help ETC or anybody else get grants, so that we have our little piece of the pie, their smaller piece and a whole bunch of this, and it isn't free, but as long as we're handing it out, we gotta get our share too. Then that moves the services out to a larger area. At some point in time, we reach the people that nobody can go after except maybe us. But if they get us from here to the creek, then we may be able to use some of the money that we've been allocated and have only limited places to use it to take it across the creek.
That's good.
So I'm not exactly sure. I would assume would have to have a vote. Not exactly sure how we need to word it, but,
So presuming that the board is in favor of it,
Yeah.
what the board would do would be make a motion to support the broadband expansion by committing to fund up to 1% of the community, of the business partners matching or investment.
but I think we need to add in a maximum number in there. I think just based on the knowledge I've had, maybe.
Not to exceed 15,000.
Not to exceed 15,000. That's perfect.
Mr. Rigney, you don't think that's gonna, do you think E2C, of course, is gonna be more than Blue Ridge Mountain EMC? Okay, all right, so if we did put in there not to exceed 15,000,
Correct.
we would be well within there, so, okay.
Now, does it depend, is our competitiveness with the other counties, does it depend on how much we put in? I mean, would it be better for 20, you said something earlier, maybe 20,000, would that help
So,
or no?
The short answer is nobody really knows, because they're not asking counties and service providers to put money in. This is my personal opinion and, well, professional opinion and what I have learned throughout all this. I wouldn't at this point put more in than what we are, because we don't know what's to come and what we might need more money for down the road. There are likely going to be some counties and service providers that may not put anything in, and there will probably be some that put more in, but we just don't know what that's gonna.
So that's not the only factor, there are other
Yeah.
factors involved.
They're not, I mean, really, they're not given points for the amount of money. It goes back to what I said earlier, it just shows that we've got skin in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
15,000 is not a bad number.
Huh?
15,000 is not,
No, it's not,
nothing to frown
it's
on.
not for what you get in
Yeah.
return.
Yeah.
That's very, very doable.
Good. All right, so I will ask for a motion that we support, that we support our partners by offering a 1%
Match.
1% match, not to exceed 15,000.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes, it would be for each, and the only thing is that it would be coming from our CARES Act funds.
From the ARP. Yeah, make
Well, we underline that.
Yeah, make sure that's in there.
So it's been very nice visiting with you guys, but I hope it's a while before I come back.
You think we've covered all the bases?
What?
You think we've covered all the bases?
I
Checked
think
all the
so,
boxes?
who knows, I'm scared to
You know, it's,
say.
I will say that.
It's been a long time. I mean, you've been working on this
Yeah.
quite a while.
Yeah.
All the
So
pieces.
we're
Yeah.
glad for
Hey,
the,
gentlemen, I
everything
think you all
coming
have to
through.
vote.
Oh, we did vote, didn't we? We did vote.
Okay, well, we both missed it.
Nominate Fannin will vote.
We're trying, thank y'all.
Okay. I mean, we don't want to do this again.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Pledge allegiance.
Thank you for all your hard work.
I'll keep everybody up to speed.
Good deal.
All right.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Mr. Rickman, thank you for all that you
Yes, sir.
Yeah, appreciate that.
We appreciate
And
that.
just one more comment, we are very lucky to have Blue Ridge Mountain, ETC, to want to provide really good internet. I mean, there are some communities that may have to rely on satellite and others, things that just aren't good. So I think we're in a great place.
Don't forget to take a ride on Sweet One right there. Another one's on the road. All right, go ahead.
Number 7, Fannin County EMA Director Robert Graham, here to give us an update regarding the COVID-19.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I guess I'm kind of the negative part of the meeting tonight.
Really?
Yeah. I just got some numbers and a little bit of information from local area hospitals and medical facilities and things. Most of the data that or the numbers I'm going to talk about come from the Georgia Department of Public Health reports that we've been getting. Right now, Georgia is number 9 in the nation for increases in COVID-19 cases. We're up 171% over a 14-day period, statewide. Fannin County, COVID cases over a 14-day period. I'm going to give you some numbers here. Starting as of July 26th, our 14-day case rate was 48. August the 2nd, a week later, our case rate was 56. And the report we got today was 89. So that's over a 14-day period each time. So the last 14 days, we just had 56 cases. And then the current 14-day previous period, we're up to 89 cases. Our 14-day case rate per 100,000 people, I know we don't have 100,000 in the county, but based on that rate, 338.15 case rate. So it's really climbing for us here locally. It's almost doubled basically since July 26th on a 2-week floating period. I spoke with the administrator at the hospital this afternoon. They're seeing a significant increase in the number of cases of COVID that they're treating. The positive tests that when they're testing at the hospital here locally, the number of tests that are coming back positive are now exceeding the number of positive tests from last winter. So,
Is there any age gap in this thing?
they are seeing more cases with younger people now, including children. Several children have tested positive locally for it. Fortunately, most of the children's cases are milder cases, what I'm hearing, what I'm being told.
About vaccinated as opposed to unvaccinated.
Okay. According to the Department of Public Health, we've had 17,824 people that have received either one or both vaccinations in Fannin County. And a bunch of those that took the first dose wound up for some reason or another didn't take their second dose. So roughly 34% of our population has been fully vaccinated.
What percent?
Roughly 34% in Fannin County.
I thought we had more than that. Kind of surprising.
Yeah, it is. It's,
We need,
Of our county, 34% of our county, or is it Georgia?
34% of our county.
Has been
That's
vaccinated totally.
Both doses,
Both
or
doses.
if they took the Johnson & Johnson, the single dose.
Right.
I will tell you that Fannin Regional, along with all the other local area hospitals, their ICUs are full. They're actually considering, I think, having people, they're having to keep people in ERs, not just our hospital, but all the local hospitals. They're having to keep people that they've actually admitted to the hospital in the ER to take care of them because they don't have beds in the ICU or they don't have staff to manage stuff. Statewide, same situation. ICU beds are at premium right now. They're having difficulty transferring patients out to tertiary care facilities because of that stuff.
So what you're saying, it seems like that this strain is as serious as the first COVID strain we had?
As serious or more serious. It's
Is it
it's
mostly
really
Delta or?
It's
do we know?
concerning. Well, the regular test that you get doesn't test for which variant it is. They do a sampling of tests statewide, and it's appearing that the majority of the cases, I think it's somewhere in the 80% range, they're seeing that their sampling is the variant, the Delta variant. Now there's also I think they're calling it Lambda, it's the South American variant that's starting to show up too, and they say it's even more contagious than the Delta variant. So, anyway, the only recommendation I can make is people use good common sense, you know, follow the CDC guidelines, maintain social distancing. My recommendation would be if you're out in public somewhere in a group of people that's close. I mean, I know we're separated out pretty good here, but if you're in the store or something, I'd recommend wearing a mask if you can.
Is the incubation period the same as before, 10 days?
Yeah, roughly about the same quarantine times and things like that. They do say that the vaccines are fairly effective against the variants, but they are also seeing some breakthrough cases of people that actually get COVID that have had the vaccine. Had one group that reported that they feel like the vaccine actually is a better antibody, is creating a better antibody than someone that actually had COVID. I don't know how they figure that out, but
Well, I think it's from the blood work in the test, because the shots did, they have helped. I mean, because it was in my joints, and it made me sick as a dog, but I mean, it has helped.
good.
But they said that Moderna was actually good against the Delta.
Yeah, they're finding that the Pfizer and the Moderna both are actually pretty effective against so far against the variants that have come out. The Johnson & Johnson probably is still, I just haven't heard any information about that. They've not put out one way or the other about it, but I think I would definitely recommend, you know, if somebody doesn't have any other objections to it, then they probably need to get the vaccine.
I'll keep that. We ought to promote it, you know, tell our citizens to do that.
Robert, it's, we've got availability here in Fannin County pretty much everywhere, correct?
Yeah,
We've
most
got
all
plenty
the
of
drug
vaccine.
stores are offering it. The health department offers it with you don't even have to make an appointment. You can walk in and get a vaccine over there. I did get information from the health department, from the district health department, that they are hopefully, nothing's set in stone, but they're hopefully going to be setting up a testing site in Gilmer County to do COVID testing on a daily basis through the health department. Would be absolutely free. As of right now, the only two places that's sponsored by the district are in Woodstock and Dalton. So you'd have to drive all the way there to get tested if you want to get testing through the health department.
When's that gonna start?
They haven't set it up yet. They're trying to get it set up. They're looking for a location and hoping to get that going
That'd be great.
before too long.
Yeah.
Also, good news, I was in on a positive note, right?
That's right, on positive note.
They are working on boosters, and they think they're on I think Moderna and maybe Pfizer have said, I think Moderna is just really close to having a booster ready for this fall. And I don't know how close Pfizer is, but they are working on boosters. They still aren't exactly sure how long the original vaccine is going to be real effective, and then when you need to get a booster, but there is talk of possible boosters later this fall.
Good. Good deal.
Well, thank you very much for the update.
Yeah, thanks for the good news.
With the numbers rising, there is concern. I think we all now know somebody who's been affected by it, and you know, family and friends, things like that. And we're never try to downplay something. You know, we know it's a sickness, how bad it can be, and we're just going to be work diligently and,
Very vigilant.
to make sure that we, and you know, just kind of everybody knows that we do fog the courthouse. We went back to fogging it. We have asked all the department heads within the courthouse to make sure we got sanitized wipes if we go down and do door handles and things like that. We do that a couple, 3 times a day at least in our office we do. So we're trying to keep our courthouse as sanitized as we possibly can, so, but thanks for the update, we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
Appreciate it.
Great, Director of Recreation, Eddie O'Neill.
Just on the COVID note, so everyone knows, we will shut down on Wednesdays, as we did before, the deep clean rec center. That starts tomorrow. We've tried to get that out on social media and everywhere, so folks don't get turned around, but we will go back to deep cleaning everything there on Wednesdays. We'll open at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, so we'll be open from there till 9 at night as usual. We're looking at, what I'd like to do is replace some playground equipment, one set at Tomboy Park that is alongside the top pavilion there, that's rented all the time, and then a larger set at Horseshoe Bend Park. We have quotes for that. Both sets of equipment will have some attachments for kids with disabilities so they can take advantage of the playground equipment. That really doesn't exist. We don't really have anything. I think there's one swing in all the playground equipment that we have that actually is something a kid with a disability could use. So that's what we like to do. The small set at Tomboy Park, the cheapest quote we had for that one is $43,184.96, and that is from Bliss Products.
What does that consist of?
I'll let you guys see the photos of that. What's on that?
Thank
This is the one that.
That would be the small one at Tomboy Park.
Tomboy.
you. And that costs $46,000?
Yes, sir. Playground equipment, is that right?
Does that include the ground?
Yes, that's the ground covering.
And what is-
It'll be the mulch type ground covering
Mulch.
at that park.
I can't tell what it is. Okay. Wow.
Now, that stuff there, that when you talk about the ground, that's not gonna be like, it ain't gonna go everywhere, is it? I mean, it's
No,
gonna stay in place?
They have a barrier around it, and then it's
Okay.
got a ramp for like wheelchair access.
And the wheelchair is supposed to be able to roll over on
Yeah,
that?
that's ADA approved.
And that's included in the 43,000?
Yeah, that's everything. That's installed.
It just doesn't look like Eddie, you get much bang for your buck there.
Looks like they got it at Walmart. I mean, really, 43,000.
If you saw the small set behind
Yeah.
Field 8 out there,
I did.
I think that was donated to us.
Uh-huh.
Forgot, the Kiwanis Club purchased that.
Right.
That small set 5 years ago was $37,000.
Wow.
God.
Playground equipment is extremely expensive.
I need to go on the playground with them.
Yeah, you get-
My goodness.
So that's even smaller than this, is what you're saying, with no ground cover or anything.
they're similar, yeah.
Wow.
Is that the only company that makes this stuff?
No, I've got another, that's the cheapest quote.
Really?
For the same type, yeah.
There's no way
The
to
second
get it.
closest quote was $48,824.
Wow.
And that's for basically the same equipment.
Yeah, this same type, just somebody else's brand.
They're in the state. And so you're wanting to put this here at Tomboy, right?
The existing playground equipment at Tomboy Park, Johnny, is actually, it's residential playground equipment. which means it shouldn't be there at all. So what we want to do is take that out and replace it with
Okay.
commercial, legal playground equipment, yeah.
For liability purpose.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what's gonna go down at Horseshoe Bend?
Now, what we like to do at Horseshoe Bend is a larger set. That area at Horseshoe Bend actually now has about 2,500 square feet of playground equipment. So
You're talking
this
about
is-
where the sand's at now?
yeah, with the sand, and that's wood, and it's a metal slide there that the kids use. I only have one picture of that, but this is what that one looks like. And it's more of the, it looks turf-like, but they call it poured-in pellets, so that would be a copy of that.
You're gonna take all that off too?
Yeah, we would tear all that out.
Monkey bars and everything like that?
Correct, yeah,
How much is this? Same?
not even close.
A lot more.
Yeah, that one is, excuse me, I gave you the wrong one, John. Actually, this is a photo of one that's.
That's
Just
the
have to
one.
kind of look, yeah, this would be the one where she went. Of course, we want to have park benches with it for parents, but it's got the musical stuff for ADA stuff, as you can see. Yeah, this would be an overall design.
You ain't told us the price yet. Are you waiting to surprise?
No, I don't.
You're gonna finish on positive on that.
162, 592 for that.
For that?
162,000?
Yes.
I'll go to buy 10 of these.
You get all this from?
That's installed.
What are you putting on the ground?
That one will look like what's on the ground there. It almost
Is
looks
that
like.
rubberized?
It's rubberized poured in, yeah.
You're kinda like down here?
Kind of like down there, yeah, very much.
That's nice down there.
Yeah.
But it's,
You did say 162.
Is there any grants for that?
What about the lodging tax money?
162.
That was a good thought.
592.
Can we get this as well?
What about that, man? Lodging tax money.
We get this as well right there?
The lodging tax budget, I have to really look at that. It is splashed out, it's splashed out.
It's for tourism, isn't it?
So we get all three of these things right here,
That's
right?
the whole
The
kit.
benches and everything we can't see.
That's correct.
And
It'll
this as
have
well.
all that equipment and 4 benches.
And whatever,
4 benches.
I got you. Okay.
What's more equipment than we got down there now?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, you know,
It should be for
but
Yes, right.
I don't wanna have to make that the only equipment we can buy for the next 20 years either. I mean, can we, what about our lodging tax? Can it come out of there?
It's kind of what we've been discussing.
Yeah, that's where we like it.
Here you go.
Recommendation.
Didn't you want this? Thank you, sir.
And that was gonna be the next thing we talked about was, the chamber has agreed to do just that.
Really?
Yes.
Let's swing on, man.
So, you're looking at, about $212,000
Yeah.
for all of it.
Roughly, yeah.
And when we have this put in?
90 days is about the lead time, yeah. And the second quote, the higher set, was from a company, Sherry, called Place Out.
Place out.
Place.
Place out.
Correct, yeah.
And that, where was that cheapest quote from, the last one, was that Place Out? or-
Place Out was the second set. The first was cheap, the smaller set was less product. None of it's cheap.
So you've been talking with Ms. Hagan?
Yeah, I talked to Jen and those guys, and I think everybody's coaching with it
Right.
from that.
Yeah.
And it's needed, we've got to get the residential set out.
Right.
And there was something else that we had at the last, I don't know, I think it was the last meeting, somebody was saying something about the Horseshoe Bend Park.
Walking trail?
Yes, something was going on down there.
Yeah, what was it, Eddie? You talked about?
It was a walking, I think Tom had suggested playground.
Yeah, that's what it
And a
was.
walking path, and
Right.
he's talking about the walking path, and we've applied, Christie worked with us, we've applied for grants 2 separate times to try to do through the recreational trail grant, and not gotten anything from that. So
Really?
we have tried 2 times, yeah.
And that's not to say we're gonna just give up on 2 times, right?
Absolutely.
We'll keep a hammer on that.
But we have tried to, we pursued a walking path down there for quite a while.
Eddie, do you have any just idea how much something like that would cost, the walking path, how much we're looking at?
I think the last time we looked at it with benches and equipment for the walking path, of course, this has been about 2 years ago, it was 220,000 roughly, yeah.
Wow.
Can't you do something down there, Zach?
That's what we gave the quote on.
That's what,
Well, I'll be doggone.
that's what you gave the quote on.
Boy, I'm glad you give them.
You work for us, don't you?
But part of that was, it was a walking track with part of a nature trail.
Okay.
So we applied to get that grant, but,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that thing would need to be an asphalt track, not you couldn't chip seal it. You would have moms pushing baby carriage, people riding bikes. You know, it's not something you could go down there. It'd have to be a smooth surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be more expensive.
Right.
You know, I don't think.
It lasts a lot longer though. All right. Well,
Something going on tonight, I guess, on that, with
Mhm.
Ms. Dawn. We can vote on
Yes,
that.
yes, you can.
Well, knowing where the fund is coming from is a big plus.
Right.
I will make a motion that we, proceed with the purchase of both ADA compliant, playground sets. One for Tomboy in the amount of $43,184.96, and one for Horseshoe Bend, the quote of $162,592. I'll make that motion that we purchase these.
second.
All in favor?
That price you give now, that was, how much did you say on both of them first?
It's gonna be about $212
Okay,
for all of them.
okay. 212.
Close.
Okay.
Then I have one more small project I'd like to get done. We can do that out of my splot. I'd like to close the drainage ditch that is between the T-ball field and the after-school house. That would be 11,600 for that. I'd do that out of my splot funds. We've got so many kids in the after-school program now. We really need to close that up.
What's it cost? I mean, what's the issues with it?
It's just an open ditch, come from the spillway out of the pond, and it's open and snaky, and, you know, we right there with the T-ball kids plus the after-school program.
And you would pay that out of your spots.
Yeah, we would just do that out of,
11,000.
11,600.
Okay.
Material, most of it has material,
Yeah, that's needed.
color, type of it, yeah. The after-school program is, guys, that thing's growing. Our waiting list for after-school program is huge. We're turning away people, they're not happy, but we can only house so many there, so down the road, we need to really, we're applying for some grant. GRPA's doing a statewide funding grant, and we'll apply through Georgia Parks and Recs to get some of that, but it's really a housing issue now. Our waiting list is probably 25 kids deep.
How many, Eddie, do we?
We can only
take?
do 50 in that house by
50?
state fire marshal rules,
Okay.
yeah. And most of those kids on the waiting list are, probably 15 of those kids are from East Fannin Elementary. Yeah, there's a big, huge need from East Fannin on the east side for after school.
Eddie, what size facility are you in now?
I think it's about 2,000 square feet or so in the house. Yeah. And then we don't have the room to do there.
So we need half that again to get the other 25, didn't we?
Yeah, you would need to have that again, or something up at the rec center. It's just, you know, they do the you know, they do homework with them and all that stuff, and we've tried to bring them in the gym. That doesn't really work. It's so loud and really no place to do it. So that's something in the future. There's a huge thing for after school.
Do you have
stuff
room,
for kids.
have you looked at it, any room for expansion?
Well,
With that house?
yeah, I really don't know that you could, the house with a septic issue.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's an
It's
issue.
really kind of-
also. Yeah. You
Well,
kind of are what you are
Mhm.
at that house.
Yeah.
For sure. But anyway, just thoughts of it.
Okay.
Well, that ditch has needed to be closed up for a while. I mean, it has. So, I will ask for a motion that we spend 11,600 out of the Rex SPOS to close the ditch up.
Second.
All in favor?
Thanks, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, number 9, as I was stating before, sorry I left that one on the agenda, but number 9 would be Zach Ratcliffe. Some equipment.
Good. I have a sign truck that's out there, it's got about 300,000 miles on it. Been keeping my eye out for something to replace it with, and I ran across a truck down here at Bill Hope Chevrolet, and it's a F-250. It's 2017. It's got 52,000 miles, I believe it is, and I think we've got them around to the price of $38,787. I think that sound right to you? Yeah. So.
It's got, what else it got on it?
It's 4-wheel drive, 3/4 ton. It has utility bed on it. So that was one of the parts. Scott Johnson here, he's the guy that we operating that, and it's the one they have is pretty bad. I seen it back on the back of the road back when I seen it going down the road. But we've got to do something to get those guys out there to work, because we are mandated to keep our signs to a federal standard. So we definitely need something.
So I guess that vehicle there is still gonna be under have some type of warranty with it, won't it?
I think it's as is, best I can remember, because it is a 17. There's some probably on the drivetrain and maybe a few little things, but it's not like a full warranty or anything like that.
And you will take this other vehicle off our insurance and stuff?
Yeah, definitely. That's,
Got it.
It'll be retired.
huh?
It'll be retired.
Definitely needs it. To explain a little more into it, it was a retired ambulance, so, you know, I told Jimmy, he said, how many miles on it? I said, well, it's got 300,000, probably 1 million hours. So, I don't know.
Just a pile of time,
Yeah, so.
I think I've seen that thing. Yeah.
I've seen it on Bill Jones' rollback, I'm sure.
No, I've seen it sitting there. I thought it was somebody coming in to stake out Fannin County or something. I mean, yeah, I'd get rid of that thing.
Yeah. But I think this would serve them well. I was really looking for something like that, and we can utilize this thing in a couple of different ways also. With it being 3/4 ton, I would like to put a snowplow in front so we can push snow over there, because it is 4-wheel drive and 3/4 ton. So it'd be multi-purpose vehicle.
And this is gonna be the vehicle that you use on the roads for the signs?
Daily, yes, sir.
Okay.
what would a new one cost?
We're getting this about half price compared to what the new ones are.
What year is this one?
17. I mean, it looks like brand new. It was, Jamie had put that with me down here. It was nice. It's gas burn. I didn't get a diesel on this one. That's what the one he's got is diesel, but it's still getting on control.
Okay. And this will come out of your,
Slots.
okay.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir, I'm fine with it. I think you've got a good deal.
I'll ask for a motion that we purchase 2017 F-250 for $38,787 to be paid out of the SPOS. I'll ask for that motion.
I'll make a motion.
Ask for a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Guys, y'all
All right.
done great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep us happy, sir.
Pretty good deal. We'll try. All right, brings us down to public commentary. Anybody that would like to come up, say your name?
Gerald McMillan, live out on Icy Lane, out there road, been on trip. Lawyer lady, how are we doing?
We're still working on our
Okay,
ordinance.
like I say, I know it's gonna take a while.
Yeah,
It just kind of, my idea is to take the county and divide it up and give it to companies that do, you know, gravel and road work on the private roads. And then the rental companies can send money to that company to an account. So they'll have it to, you know, fix the roads. Roads, private roads that are strictly private, they'll be just, they have to do their own. They can't, you know. If there's rental cabins on the road, we'll need the assistance of the, you know, tax, the hotel motel type situation. To get the money, that's primarily what we're needing. And like anything else, we figured that what we'll do is if we can figure out how much each company is gonna make, then we can say a percentage of that to be given back to the county. That way you don't, you know, you're working on something that you can get paid for. Not much, but it's something. But as I say, it's gonna take time. And I'm gonna get with the gentleman who will give me a call and figure out how to charge everybody. For example.
Is your neighbors all in, with you on this?
Oh, heck no. They don't, but what I was gonna do is I'm gonna make up a flyer, I'm gonna go down and stick it on each building, then I'm gonna go to the rental companies, tell them to get a hold of their, you know, the owners of those places and tell them what's going on.
So what I'm saying is that, so if anybody turns on this road, it's gonna be dirt or whatever until it gets to your place, so that right there would be paved.
No, I don't want to pay it. It'll be still gravel, you know.
But it'll be maintained.
It'll be maintained. That's the primary thing, because when these trucks come down to do work on the rental places,
Yeah.
and everybody else, and some of the rental people come in, they just run up and down the road and they basically tear it up. And if I have to help pay for that road, and they're not doing anything, it's, you know, it's money coming out of my
How
back
many
pocket.
houses we talking about?
I'm not quite sure on the Power Dam Road, but I know there's at least 6 to 8 rental cabins on that road.
And, well, there's property owners that own.
Yeah, they're property owners, but when you try to contact them, they don't respond. You ask the rental companies to find something out, and they say, well, you'll have to contact the owners. Well, give me the address. Oh, we can't do that.
You can go online and find out who owns.
Well, I understand, it's gonna take a while, but that's what I'm saying. I was trying this a little bit before, to just send out a letter saying, hey, we need money for the road. And if we get you guys behind us, more or less, we can say, hey, the county says,
Tell, let's go fly a kite.
well, it's a necessity that needs to be done.
Yeah, I understand that.
You know,
But you need to talk to your,
Oh, well, like I say, we'll put a flyer out, but, you know, I'm sure these people want to get the road fixed. The gentleman that's been doing the road, I guess he fell ill and hasn't contacted anybody, so we don't know for sure.
how did he get paid?
He got paid by us giving him checks.
Everybody?
Yeah, well, no, that's the whole thing too. Some of the people just never bothered paying. They were told how much they wanted, and a lot of people just ignored it. So it's the few of us that were paying it, paid them a little bit more to get the road done. I'm real close, I'm basically the first house on Icy Lane. You know, so my funding would be a short amount, but that's not the point. Like I say, the point is that we all need to help keep the road up.
Okay.
So, and that's all, folks. Okay, thank you, John.
Thank you.
Ladies.
Anyone else? Anyone else? All right, we'll close public commentary. Bring us down to executive session.
God bless you.
Gentlemen, I think I need to go over a couple things in executive session if I may.
Okay.
So, I'll make a motion that we go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor? executive session?
Second.
All in favor? All right. While in executive session, we talked about two things. We talked about real estate, personnel. No action has been taken at this point. So, that being said, I'll ask for a motion that we adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second. All in favor? We're adjourned.
Thank you, sir.